and welcome back to another All Heart video. I am sitting inside of our learning room getting ready to give you a little tour. Now I'm going to go ahead and start off outside, and the reason for that is because I kind of wanted to show you the entire perimeter of our learning space, because we have such lovely windows that we really get to enjoy a very beautiful view from this space. And we also have a really nice balcony or porch kind of that encompasses and surrounds this entire space. So it's nice for when there are really lovely, beautiful sunny days out here where you get to go outside, we get to paint out there, we get to play with a lot of our sensory activities, water activities out there. So it's been really nice to be able to utilize that space. And I feel like that's part of our learning area, so I wanted to go ahead and show you that. So let's go ahead and get started. Let's start off outside, and then we can work our way back indoors. So this is the outside of our learning room. So if we exit this door right here, which leads into my youngest daughter's little learning area, then this is our learning space here, and we're able to go outside. So if we want to do any sensory activities or any painting, if it's a really pretty day and we're not being attacked by mosquitoes, then we can be out here. So let's just kind of walk around the perimeter of our space, just so you can kind of take a peek. One of the things that really drew us to this house was just the amount of beautiful brickwork. We just fell in love with it, and also the amount of windows. So as you can see all the way around, there is nothing but beautiful, beautiful windows. And it just makes it for such a lovely space to be able to work in every single day. So this is what we look at every single day from the inside of our learning space. We have these two beautiful, beautiful ponds, this wonderful greenery. And we're back inside. I'm gonna go ahead and start showing you the different areas that we have. If you guys have any questions or comments, leave them down below. And as always, if you enjoy videos like this one, make sure to ring that notification bell and hit that subscribe button. And let's go ahead and start with a tour of the interior space. So the first area that we walk into from the dining area is my daughter's small space. Now, if you just want to see my daughter's space and how I created it, I'll go ahead and leave a link down below. But this is her little space, and it's been so perfect because it's right off of the larger learning area. She's got her little pull-up bar there with her mirror. She's got all of her different activities that she's been working on. She's got her own little bookshelf here. And she also has, you know, some of the puzzles that she's been working on down on the floor, so that way she's not pulling them down. But as we make our way, this is our larger learning space. So let's go ahead and come inside, and then let's go ahead and start on this area over here. So down here we have our pink pyramid, as well as the other box pyramid that my daughter loves to work with. We have our rods, we have our dressing frames, and as we make our way over towards this left space, we have our geometric cabinet, a lot of our wooden number frames, a lot of our like 3D dimensional shapes, as well as a lot of other math materials that my son and my daughter both utilize. So moving on, we do have like a smaller math area. I decided to set up these acrylic little shelves because, one, they just kind of blend in. I didn't want anything to take away from this area. And then we were able to put all of their math boards over here. So it's been really nice. All of their math activities that they would need, are on this board. So over here we have our metal insets, we have our hundreds board, teen board, we have our cylinders here, we have our sound cylinders, and then our smelling cylinders in there. And then as we make our way over towards this area, this is what we call our language area. So this is where we keep all of our language materials. So at the very top is everything that my son has been utilizing. I know I showed you guys a lot of the materials that he's been using for working on his handwriting. So we do have the Waseka handwriting boards here that comes along with this. We also have just a beginner cursive book. We do have our sand tray, and then I love utilizing these as well because these are dry erase, so these have come in really, really handy. We also have all of our grammar symbols here. And a lot of different sample cards that he's able to work on in here. So that is the very top shelf. So in the middle shelf, we have the sandpaper handwriting boards, and then we also do have the sandpaper just letters in here. We have some of the things that we use for my daughter's reading. And then we do have all of our Spark cards and our STEM cards. And we have all of our small letter trays as well as this Hoppe alphabet tray. And down here we have another alphabet tray that my daughter uses. So these materials I keep here. Now on the very bottom, we have sensory activities. So when they want to work with their flowers or building their garden, it's there. We do have a couple of locks that my son likes to work with and my daughter. And then in here we have all of our little colored frames. We have box 1, 2, and 3. And then out here at the very end, we have all of our stamps that we can utilize with clay, Play-Doh, and even with sand. So this board I keep here, that way they don't put anything directly onto the table. They could just utilize that board. And that is everything in this area of the shelf. So as we move along, we have our art area right here. And I wanted our art area to face where we have like the ponds, just because I feel like it's just really nice to have that inspiration on this side. So over here on this left side, we have a lot of our crafting materials like the pom-pom balls. We have the smaller popsicle sticks. We have the pipe cleaners. We have like little eyeballs. We have jewels for when they want to use this. We've got buttons. So anything that they want to use in order for crafting, I always keep here. We were gifted when they went to a birthday party all of these Play-Dohs, so I just keep them here, but we always make our own Play-Doh. We have our tray here with a lot of our like metal stampings for when they work with Play-Doh. And then in these bins, we have some of their sensory items. So we've got like lentils, we've got beans, and then we have kinetic sand down here. So I just keep them in these bins. These bins have been awesome because then I don't have to utilize like a whole separate table, and I could just kind of stack those and they'd stay really nice and clean in there. So over here, I just put a little clip onto the window, and that's where they keep their little art aprons. And then on the top shelf in here, this I actually got at a little antique shop out in California, but they keep paper strips when my daughter is working on her cutting technique. They also keep a whole bunch of their stencils in these three little trays. They have their, let me move this. They have their Stockmar modeling clay in there and extra chalk, some more pom-poms. So a lot of art activities in here, like stickers and stuff like that. And then as we move down, you can see that they keep all of their colored pencils here. I do have another one of these trays, and this is where they keep some of their stamp papers, sketch papers, and their mixed media paper for when they want to paint or watercolor. So that we keep there. We keep all of their paints in these containers, and then they have all of their markers on the top shelf as well. As we move down, we have their King's Art tray. So we keep a lot of extra pencils, the larger popsicle sticks in here. We have some of their more specialty colored pencils up here, especially this one. These are their watercolor colored pencils. And then we keep all of their stamp pads and stamps down here on the bottom shelves. Out to the side, we have all of their scissors, Mod Podge, and glue. And then over here, we have their dot markers. We have their Stockmar crayons, and then just an assortment of crayons in these little baskets. So on the very bottom here, I keep all of their like cork boards for when we're working on activities. And then we also have their mats here. So this one is for when they're working on like the decimal system. So it expands, it's pretty large, but I have it folded up here. And then this one is for when we're working on the seasons. So we have that one. And then we have this one for when we're working with our colored tablets. So all of our mats, when we need them, are kept right here. And as we work our way down, we have our metal inset paper. I have extra back there. I have construction paper. They keep their little painting trays here. And in here, I just keep like extra markers, modeling clay, and a lot of the tissue paper. So that's what we keep down here. Now I was trying to figure out where to place all of their mats and paper and stuff. So I just decided to place it in this basket. So this is what they utilize when they're painting, and they'll just lay it on the table. We have some extra tissue paper rolls for when we're working on crafting and activities. We have the larger paper over here, and then of course their rugs. And then over on this side, I added 3 more acrylic shelves, and they keep all of their books that you would need to help supplement a lot of their learning. So that is this space here. So as we work our way around the room, now we land on our geography area. So we do have our continent boxes there on the bottom. Some of the larger like geography books that we have, I'll keep down here. And this one's a part of our Flags of the World, which is up here. So I just keep those books down there instead of putting them on the shelves, just because it's easier for them to utilize them when they're right there. We have a lot of our smaller objects that they love being able to utilize with their cards to identify them, and they keep all of the cards for them right here. And then we also have our, what's it called? Like our Schleich animals from around the world. So we just keep these in this basket, and these have been a lot of fun. Now, as we make our way to the top of the shelf, we have our water and land book, we have our globe, we have our continent cards, and we also have our water and land cards here. So these puzzles have been so wonderful to have. They're the water and landform puzzles. So we have all of the water and landforms here. These have been so nice. And we just keep those right there. We have our globe. We also have a picture of the world. We have our flags of the world, and this is where we keep our larger puzzles. And down here, this is our pin map. So when my son wants to work on pinning everything in South America, he can utilize this one. Same with Europe. That is all there. And then, like I mentioned, our continent boxes are there. On the side, we have our control maps, as well as like larger poster board, and then some of their boards right there. So everything just stays nice and neat. So that is that area. Okay, so in the center here, we have our anatomy area. So we have this really neat poster that I picked up at a little antique store out here in Wilmington. And then we have our anatomy books. We have our felt little skeleton here with all of the organs. So that way they can label everything. We also have the brain so that they can work on that there. On the bottom, we have our smaller objects with corresponding cards, of course, as well as some activities that they can work on. We do have the teeth so that they can work on identifying all of the different teeth, as well as really good instruction for teaching your child how to properly brush their teeth. So that's come in really handy. And then on the side here, we do have some anatomy puzzles. On the very bottom of the shelf, we have our larger puzzle. This one is actually a really good one. It's a really great size. And I love that if you're able to flip the pieces around, then you're able to work on the nervous system and the organs. So you're able to really see it. And then in this folder over here, we have our busy book. So they're able to work on anything that they feel like working on in here. So that I just keep down here on the very bottom shelf. So that is our body and anatomy area. And then the final area over here is our science area. So on the very top shelf, I have all of their like spring activities out here. So we do have our bugs in resin. We do have the puzzle that they're working on is always at the very top. So they've been learning about frogs and all of the different parts of the frog. We also have this really awesome insect book. So if they want to explore and learn new facts about the insects, it's there. I always keep these here because especially since we have all these windows, it's been really neat to be able to see what everything looks like in different colors. And then we also have, there's magnifying ones in there as well. We do have our flower parts model here, as well as some flower and nature books in the back. As we work our way down, we have our solar system area. We have our volcano area. We have some puzzles as well as the life cycles of the butterfly down here. We do have some more puzzles here, like the different parts of a flower, tree, petal, and then at the very bottom we have the seed. And then we do go through these books, and I do use the worksheets that go with this book. So I keep these here. These are just more of the 3-part cards for all of the animal puzzles. And then we have this really awesome space puzzle that my son loves to utilize, and it comes with like 3D parts that you can place at the very top. So that is everything in this area. And I almost missed our solar system rug parts over here, which if you guys are curious about those, make sure to check out our video on the solar system. And then lastly, we do have our large blackboard, our magnetic blackboard. And this is where we keep a lot of our artwork, or, you know, if they want to use chalk and they want to color or something like that, then we could use it, or if we're working on a project. We utilize this. We have some of their markers. We have some of their paint brushes. And then in this basket down here, we have some of their measuring cups. But other than that, everything in this basket is magnetic. So all of the magnetic objects are kept in this basket right next to the magnetic board. So they know exactly where that's supposed to go. And as far as more seating, we have the pink one down here. And these are awesome just because it comes with 3 different ones, and it's perfect to sit around our circular table. We do have one upstairs in the playroom. It's the blue one. Down here we keep the pink one. And in the center, we have this really large circular table on our circular rug. And it's really the perfect size to be able to work on activities. And that's it, you guys. I hope that you enjoyed our learning room tour. If you guys have any questions or comments, leave them down below. Especially if you have questions about some of the items that you see. It's very challenging for me to list every single thing because there are quite a few things in here. So if you have a question about a specific item, just leave it down below and I'll make sure to get back to you as soon as I can. Thank you guys so much for joining us today. We'll see you back here very, very soon. Bye.